Good morning. How is everybody doing today? Mr. Teaspoon Miner in the house bright and early. Look at you, handsome devil. We have Chadwick's Racing, Rud Puts. Good to see you, buddy. Zapirate, Leaf Crypto, Sloth Squatch. What's up, buddy? Automatic Beats, Steven Cicero, Yeti, Leo Lustig. God, I always say your name wrong. I apologize. Anyways, I'd like to say hi to everybody in the morning. Good to see you all. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Today, I was ripping through CoinDesk's page, right, to see what was new in space, and they literally posted a ledger response and a video within like 2 minutes of me posting that I was going live. So I was like, ooh, this is interesting. It's like fresh, so I can't wait to watch that. But first, as always, this is live and recorded. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. Just at me if you guys have any. And yeah, let's dive into, let's see what we have for a market today real quick. Let's see. There we go. All right, BTC 27,379. We have Ethereum 1823. Overall green market today, which looks nice compared to last couple days. Doge, we are at 7.5 cents almost. We have LTC 92 bucks, and then we have XRP 46 cents. Man, I wonder if we're gonna hear anything soon about the XRP Ripple case. Oh, and by the way, are we gonna hear what's today? Today's the 18th. Today is the 18th. We should be hearing about the Coinbase lawsuit thing with the SEC has to give them an answer. Interesting. I can't wait to see if that comes out later this afternoon. That'd be really cool. All right. Shell Crypto Bubbles. Render is up 22%, 22.6. Hex is up 14.9, but it was down like an insane amount yesterday, so I don't know how that evens out. Let's see. Everything else pretty much just up. Everything's up today, at least a little bit, right? Or for the most part anyways. A couple red ones, but random stuff. Good morning, Mrs. Pocket Change. She is up and at 'em this morning. You'll get it, LOL. I know, Leo Lustig. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I don't know why I always say Lustig. It just makes, I don't know, it's easier. Rolls off the tongue easier, right? I apologize. Don't hate me. Oh god, sorry, didn't mean to blind you. Neutral. 51% fear and greed index on the crypto little chart here. Again, fear and greed index chart. Let's see. We have the top 10 coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD Coin, XRP, Cardano, Lado Staked Ether, Dogecoin in 9th, and Solana in 10th. Let's see the top coins 24 hours. So Render, oh my god, it's up $2.36 right now, 21%. We have the Synthix network, which is 10.7%, Injective 8%, Optimism, that's how you say that, OP 6.4%, Immutable 6.2, Kava 5.8. Pepe is in 70th place on the coin market cap in CoinGecko anyways, and it's 5.3% up on the day. Interesting. All right, without further ado, sorry for blinding everybody. This is the article, and no, I don't have dark mode. I apologize. But this was just posted at 7:44 a.m. It is 8:22 my time right now, so this was literally just posted. But yeah, adjust the brightness on your screens. I'm making this a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. Ledger continues to defend recovery system. It says it's always technically possible to extract users' keys. As soon as I read that, I was like, well, that would have been freaking nice to know. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's just public knowledge, apparently? No, that's insane. All right, it says, technically speaking, it is and always has been possible to write firmware that facilitates key extraction, this is news to me, and yeah, that's kind of a big deal. You have always trusted Ledger not to deploy such firmware, whether you knew it or not, Ledger said on Twitter. Yeah, well, you know what? I'd rather not know, because if you don't know, it don't hurt you. now we're all panicking. But this is a video. I want to we'll jump into that in a second. I kind of want to read this little article yet because I haven't had a chance to. It says crypto wallet maker Ledger dug itself into deeper public relations hole on Wednesday when its supported team said on Twitter that it is and always has been possible for the firm to extract its users' keys. Again, which is absolutely absurd. I can't even believe that's a thing. I mean, I get it, right? It makes sense, but that's still crazy. While answering queries about the firm's new wallet recovery service, Ledger support sent a couple of bizarre tweets which would have done little to I can't even read that. What is that? What is that word? Assuage? I can't even read that. It's users. What does that word mean? I gotta look that up now. What does that word even mean? Concerns suggesting that it could make its customers' assets vulnerable in any way it wanted to, but it's thus far not done so. Technically speaking, they keep saying that over and over. All right, F it. I'm gonna look that word up because I want to know. Now I want to play this and see what the hell they have to say. So this is the same guy that was in that not the guy that's like on screen right now, but the guy he's gonna bring on is the same guy that had that Twitter live conversation that was kind of like, I don't know, it was an hour long and it was kind of a pain in the ass. To be honest, I think I didn't leave it down below, but it's in yesterday's video. Go check the description if you guys want to listen to the Ledger live thing in Twitter. But without further ado, let's hear what this guy has to say. Here we go.
Now, on the topic of wallets and your Bitcoin, we naturally should discuss self-custody and cold storage through the use of hardware wallets. There are companies that manufacture signing devices to allow for easy self-custody, and one of those companies is here with us today. Joining us now to discuss is Ledger CTO Charles Guillemet. Welcome, Charles.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. So your company is facing a little bit of scrutiny online over an opt-in service you just launched called Ledger Recover. Could you go ahead and let our viewers know what that is, what you have now implemented?
Yeah, sure. First of all, we plan to launch the service next Monday, and we had the proper communication plan. And one of our users noticed on the release note of our software that we are introducing this new feature. So that's why we decided to communicate today. So basically, what we see today, there are several burdens and several hurdles for newcomers in the space, and one of them is the idea of securing your 24 words, creating a backup for your 24 words. So that's why from this idea we decided to create a service in order to ease the way you can store and back up your recovery seed, and this is the full idea of the Ledger Recover. The idea is when you onboard with your device, you will create an account with different identity verification provider, and on your device you will consent to create this backup. This backup is split on different shards, encrypted with secure channel protocol in order to avoid man-in-the-middle attack and so on, this kind of thing. And your splitted seed will be sent and backed up by 3 different backup providers, so that in the day you want to recover your 24 words, your seed, you can use this service in order to get the access back to your wallets. So this is the overall idea.
Understood. So, Charles, I have to ask, having your seed leave your device, unless you opt into Ledger Recover, it feels like even though it's broken into 3 parts and then encrypted and then sent off, how is that not effectively the same as the seed leaving your hardware wallet? Is that not a compromise of security in some way?
No, it's not. And again, we are giving the option to our users. If you're not comfortable with using third party, if you want to be fully in control, if you want to be completely self-sovereign, you simply can not use this service. And if you like the idea of ease of use and having a separate backup just in case, you can use this service. And using this service is quite easy. And as I mentioned, the seed is splitted in 3 shards. Having one of the shards doesn't give any information about your seed, so this is something important to say. And they are encrypted, so the encryption prevents any attacker to do anything. Having something encrypted is like having nothing if you don't know the key.
Understood. But so this is opt-in software. Can you guarantee that you guys will continue to have it be opt-in software, or will it someday not become opt-in software? Because I think that is a critique and or a worry for some of your customers.
Yeah, totally. We had plenty of questions and people were wondering this kind of question. And yes, we can guarantee that the guarantee that we give to our user is as soon as the operating system of our devices touch a cryptographic material like a key, it will ask you for consent. It's the case when you sign a Bitcoin transaction. The operating system will ask you for consent. It's the case when you do smart contract interaction. It's the case when you do staking on Cosmos. It's the same when you do like a firmware upgrade or when you load an app. And it's the same when you want to use this ledger recover service. You are prompted and you have to consent for this operation. I think this is what self-custody is about. This is what freedom is about. It's giving the possibility and the option. And at the end, the user decides.
Yeah. Charles, I want to latch on to another thing you said. I know there's a lot of criticisms coming at you, and I'm going to keep these questions coming. What about the linking of identification documents like a passport to your ledger? To me, that feels like it cuts against the ethos of crypto. How did you come to the decision to allow users to attach identity directly to a cold storage setup? Are you not worried about potential social engineering attacks for users of Ledger Recover?
It's a good question, but at the end, there is no direct link between your seed and your identity, because as a backup provider, you don't know what the actual seed is because you would need to recombine it inside the device to know it. So the only link we have is an account and a name, your name, and only you can recover your seed within a device. So as an identity verification provider, it doesn't know your expub, your addresses. It doesn't know your history on chain. It doesn't know your seed, and this is this separation of concern. The only thing it knows is that you own the ledger and you own crypto, and this is something I agree that there was this separation.
Right, and there is some concern from customers that you guys have leaked addresses before, so you can understand your customers' concerns there. But thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck going forward, Charles.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I like how he throws the little dig at the end. You guys have leaked customer addresses before. Holy shit. I don't even know. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I didn't even want to rant about it this morning. I really didn't. I was expecting to talk about other stuff. But can we just watch this again and kind of rip it apart as we go? I think it's probably a good idea. I'm gonna rewind it. I just want to hear what this guy has to say, and I'm gonna pause it and talk during the middle of it. I didn't want to do that as we were going originally. So all right, I want to listen to this again, and I want to kind of rip it apart a little bit by a little bit and get your guys input on it as well as we go, and I'll pause and answer questions in the chat.
Is Ledger CTO Charles Guillemet. Welcome, Charles.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's good to have you.
So I one thing I wish you asked about this freaking mask. Why do you have that? That seems terrible.
Your company is facing a little bit of scrutiny online over an opt-in service you just launched called Ledger Recover. Could you go ahead and let our viewers know what that is, what you have now implemented?
I think we can skip that part. Let me skip forward a little bit.
That's why we decided to communicate today. So basically, what we see today, there are several burdens and several hurdles for newcomers in the space, and one of them is the idea of securing your 24 words, creating a backup for your 24 words. So that's why, from this idea, we decided to create a service in order to ease the way you can store and back up your recovery seed.
So I want to just on that little point, right? So I don't think it's a bad move for Ledger to do something like this. Okay, something similar to this, $9, $10 a month to have somebody more or less handle your seed phrase stuff, right? I get it for lazy people, but for people that are educated, you don't do that into the same wallet, like the wallet that you have. Just roll out the Nano S, same exact shell with different firmware. Would have solved the entire issue, at least in my opinion. them claiming the fact that you can strip the seeds, like it's always been a thing with firmware that you could just strip the seeds right out of a ledger with a firmware update. I wish we knew that. Like, why didn't we know that? Why is that a thing all of a sudden coming to light when it was supposed to be, this thing makes the seed phrase as soon as you turn it on, and it's not available for anybody, right? That's what we thought anyways, or that's what I thought. So I don't know.
And this is the full idea of the ledger recover. The idea is when you onboard with your device, you will create an account with different identity verification provider, and on your device you will consent to create this backup. This backup is split on different shards, encrypted with secure channel protocol in order to avoid man-in-the-middle attack and so on, this kind of thing. And your splitted seed will be sent and backed up by 3 different backup providers, so that in the day you want to recover your 24 words, your seed, you can use this service in order to get the access back to your wallet.
So the access back to the wallet thing, right? Getting that back, they are stating, they said it somewhere in one of the articles I read yesterday, that they're only requiring a like government issue ID, basically, right? So if it's your driver's license or your passport, someone hacks that shit and they know you're into crypto, they could just call Ledger and get this thing out of the company. Like, that's kind of super concerning to me, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. The other thing is, like, what if they need a selfie and the ID? Like, is it really that hard to get a selfie of somebody, or just use an old selfie and say you just took it? I don't know. It's ridiculous. Social engineer hack says Yeti. Yeah, Yeti's losing it in the chat. I hear you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to @me. I'm just gonna continue to play this again and just like pause it as we go.
So this is the overall idea.
Understood. So, Charles, I have to ask, having your seed leave your device unless you opt into Ledger Recover, it feels like even though it's broken into 3 parts and then encrypted and then sent off, how is that not effectively the same as the seed leaving your hardware wallet? Is that not a compromise of security in some way?
This guy says no. He's going to say no. But this dude is awesome for asking that question. That's 100% what I think. It is definitely a security risk. I don't give a shit what this guy says. I feel like he's not the brains of the company. He's just the speaker. So he's kind of like the fall guy that has to sit in front of everybody and talk, which sucks, right? It sucks to be in that position, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's listen.
No, it's not.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not a security.
Again, we are giving the option to our users. If you're not comfortable with using third party, if you want to be fully in control, if you want to be completely self-sovereign, you simply can not use this service.
But my issue is, actually, I think he asks it too as he's going along. He says, is it always going to be an opt-in program? I mean, who's to say? And I mean, things can change next year. They could make this a straight up, like, you have to do this. You know what I mean? And just stop charging people, but you have to do this upgrade. And you can't get it back unless you pay for the service. That's my main concern, to be honest.
And if you like the idea of ease of use and having a separate backup just in case, you can use this service. And using this service is quite easy. And as I mentioned, the seed is splitted in 3 shards. Having one of the shards doesn't give any information about your seed, so this is something important to say. And they are encrypted, so the encryption prevents any attacker to do anything.
Good point, Mr. Yeti. Good point. So Yeti just said in the chat, now if this is an opt-in firmware, he said it exists. Hold on real quick. Let me reread this. So word for word, he says, if it's an opt-in, the firmware exists to allow them to do it regardless. What if the government demands that they unlock all ledgers? And that's, again, another huge concern. This is built into the device to be able to do this, which is concerning, 100% concerning.
Having something encrypted is like having nothing if you don't know the key.
Understood. But so this is opt-in software. Can you guarantee that you guys will continue to
That's
have
right,
it be
yeah.
opt-in software, or will it someday not become opt-in software? Because I think that is a critique and or a worry for some of your customers.
Yeah, totally. We had plenty of questions and people were wondering this kind of question. And yes, we can guarantee that the guarantee that we give to our user is as soon as the operating system of our devices touch a cryptographic material like a key, it will ask you for consent. It's the case when you sign a Bitcoin transaction.
Wait, so it's touching your key regardless of your consent or not, and all it does is take a click of a button. So like if you misread it, you just hit the button by accident, you're fucked. Is that what they're saying? Excuse my language, but that's literally what he just said.
The operating system will ask you for consent. It's the case when you do smart contract interaction. It's the case when you do staking on Cosmos. It's the same when you do like a firmware upgrade or when you load an app. And it's the same when you want to use this ledger recover service. You are prompted and you have to consent for this operation. I think this is what self-custody is about. This is what freedom is about. It's giving the possibility and the option. And at the end, the user decides.
Yeah. Charles, I want to latch on to another thing you said. I know there's a lot of criticisms coming at you, and I'm going to keep these questions coming. What about the linking of identification documents like a passport to your ledger? To me, that feels like it cuts against the ethos of crypto. How did you come to the decision to allow users to attach identity directly to a cold storage setup? Are you not worried about potential social engineering attacks for users of Ledger?
So stupid. So stupid. Again, Timmy down the street has a ledger. I know who, oh, my bad, hit the wrong one. I know who Timmy is, right? And I know he's into crypto. And I decide to, you know, I know he opted into this bullshit and I, you know, steal his ID. Now what? Now what? Now you're getting all his seed phrases because they just want to let it go. And it's not even like they say they're going to improve the security of that, right? Like how far can you improve the security? So it's like, okay, so I'm going to give Ledger my ID. And then later on down the line, what are they going to ask? My social security number to like prove it's me? You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now Ledger's going to have everything on your life on top of, you know, the government cracking down all over the place around here in the US anyways. If they decide to go to Ledger or just whatever jurisdiction they're in, the government goes to them and says, hey, give us all your information. Now everybody in this chat that has a Ledger that opted into this shit is exposed, basically. That's not okay. Like, I just feel like a hacker could just steal your ID or hack your stuff. Like, you know, if you've ever scanned your ID for anything online, or if you've ever taken a picture in your phone and you have your ID picture in your phone, and a hacker decides to get into that stuff and just take it. Now they have access to all your Ledger stuff when, like, you know, your seed phrase was totally safe wherever you had it.
Ledger recover?
It's a good question, but at the end, there is no direct link between your seed and your identity, because as a backup provider, you don't know what the actual seed is because you would need to recombine it.
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant to the question. That's irrelevant to the question. At least in my opinion. He's saying the ID is not attached to your seed phrase. Yeah, no shit. But that's how you get it back. Does anybody talk to this guy before he goes live? Is it just me, or am I missing something here? Could somebody please explain to me in the chat? Am I missing something? Does this guy just not get it? I don't understand.
Inside a device to know it. So the only link we have is an account and a name, your name, and only you can recover your seed within a device. So as an identity verification provider, it doesn't know your expub, your addresses. It doesn't know your history on chain. It doesn't know your seed, and this is this separation of concern.
Yeah, he's literally missing the whole fucking point here. So, like, all right, example. Okay, you guys know me. All right, Jump Change has a Ledger. We know he signed up for this. Some asshole decides to hack me, right? Gets into my stuff somehow, gets everything in my life. Calls Ledger to get my seed phrase back. What do they ask for? My ID, passport. Hey, no problem. Need a screenshot? Okay, they just come online and it looks like I'm taking a selfie. They can, you know, AI bullshit and just send over a selfie. Selfie ID, boom. Here's the seed phrase. Here you go. All right, well, there goes, you know, 4 years of my life. Gone with a picture because of a hacker. Like, that's That's the point. It doesn't matter if it's tied to the seed phrase. These companies are going to release it with that ID. That's so stupid. That means it's tied to it. Like, just because it's not directly tied to it doesn't mean it's not tied to it. Oh my God.
The only thing he knows is that you own the ledger and you own crypto. And this is something I agree, but there was this separation.
Right.
Magic Lucky, the title means they just responded like 20 minutes ago. Well, this is, I don't know if this interview was 20 minutes ago, but they posted it on CoinDesk like 20 minutes ago, and they responded stupidly. So it wasn't positive or negative. I feel like it was just stupid.
And there is some concern from customers that you guys have leaked addresses before, so you can understand your customers' concerns there. But thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck going forward, Charles.
But yeah, that's it. So I like how he throws a little dig at him at the end. It's kind of awful. But this word, by the way, I looked it up because I had no idea. It says, let's see, to make an unpleasant feeling less intense. I've never heard of that word in my life. You guys? Anybody here heard that word? I've never heard that before. Anyways, yeah, so that's the Ledger news today. Again, Ledger continues to defend recovery system, says it's always technically possible to extract users' keys. That's real freaking nice. That's real nice. And you know what? That's, again, another concern, which now, again, I understand they want to onboard new people, but it doesn't make sense in the fact of scaring the shit out of everybody. And when it goes to, you're not only scaring the crap out of everybody, it's all the YouTubers, everybody that pushed this product, right? The Ledger. Hey, what wallet should I use? What's most secure? Ledger. Like that. YouTubers, people in general would say this constantly, go get a Ledger. You need a Ledger. You need this. You need that. Like everybody would always point to the Ledger for a hardware wallet. And that's the problem now. You scared the crap out of everybody, and now nobody's going to recommend it. So not only did you hurt new users in a sense because nobody's going to talk about it anymore, you also hurt your current business opportunities. If you ever come out with a new wallet, like if Ledger comes out with anything besides the X, like a new wallet, I would totally buy it, or would have until now. But at the same time, now it makes me question all my wallets. That's the problem here. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm sick of ranting about it, to be honest. I feel like it just goes over some people's heads and they don't understand the severity of that. But whatever. I don't know. It is what it is. Again, I don't care about Ledger sponsorships and all that bullshit. That's why I don't care to tell you guys how I feel, because it's not okay, at least in my opinion. Anyways, all right, let's see what Mr. Austin over here says at Altcoin Daily. This is alert: Coinbase pauses Ethereum crypto staking withdrawals. So I wanted to see what this was all about. This is what I was going to talk about today, besides this whole Ledger thing again, but I apologize. We had to get into that. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into what Austin has to say. If you guys have any questions or want to talk about the Ledger stuff again at the end, we can. So let's do it.
So much crypto news to talk about. Smash the like button and let me clue you in. Ethereum scaling solution Optimism has a major bedrock upgrade set for June 6th. Mark your calendars. This much needed upgrade will provide a number of improvements across the network and come at a time when competition in the Layer 2 space has been heating up. Layer 2 scaling solution Optimism is set to undergo a highly anticipated bedrock upgrade on June 6th. The move is expected to result in significantly reduced transaction fees, provide greater network security, and enhanced compatibility with Ethereum. A trifecta of awesomeness. The Optimism team stated via a May 15th Twitter thread that the network would be down for 2 to 4 hours on June 6th as the upgrade goes through. Quote, on upgrade day, transactions, deposits, and withdrawals will be unavailable for the duration of the downtime. Bedrock was announced back in May 2022. It marks the first major network upgrade that was voted through by Optimism's governance council, Token House. Optimism is slated to benefit from lower transaction fees, which OP Labs, the network's protocol development unit, estimates wild drop by 47% reduction in fees. Quote, Bedrock improves on its predecessor by reducing transaction fees by optimizing batch compression and Ethereum as a data availability layer, shortening delays of including L1 transactions in rollups by handling L1 reorgs more gracefully, the Optimism Community Bedrock explainer reads. Very exciting, and this author is correct. Competition in the Layer 2 space has been heating up. daily activity on StarkNet is starting to gain significant traction, with over 100,000 users, up 157% over the past 30 days, and 200,000 plus transactions each day. Here it is. For context, Arbitrum and Optimism most recently had 150K and 75K daily active users, respectively. Ripple news. The Ripple CEO is going after U.S. regulators again, this time accusing U.S. regulators on Twitter of hypocrisy. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse did not hold back on Twitter in criticizing the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for its hypocrisy in public statements about the crypto industry. Garlinghouse tweeted a meme from The Office where a character looks befuddled in response while adding a pointed message to the SEC on Tuesday. This is that pointed message towards the SEC. It comes in response to Coinbase basically calling out the SEC. The SEC told the court that rulemaking may take many years and there is no rush. So the SEC is in no rush to provide good clarity, and Brad Garlinghouse tweeted out a picture of Dwight from The Office and has a problem with this. He says, the hypocrisy to be an unelected bureaucrat where you can procrastinate on your bully pulpit at all times every week, a new video or speech, and then say no one should rely on your statements as guidance. The Ripple versus SEC case is going to come to terms with some sort of resolution soon, I'm sure. Subscribe to the channel. We'll continue to keep you informed with this. Ethereum. Demand for Ethereum staking soars despite nearly a month-long waiting period to stake your ETH at this point. This is interesting. Since the implementation of the Shanghai upgrade to the Ethereum mainnet just over 1 month ago, which allowed Ethereum validators, this is what you call the Ethereum stakers, Ethereum validators, to withdraw all or some of their staked ETH, was the Shanghai upgrade. You can now withdraw the tokens from the staking smart contract for the first time. Since that, demand for Ethereum staking has soared. Now, according to whenmerge.com, the waiting period for an ETH owner to enter the Ethereum network as a new validator has surged to 27 days and 7 hours. So if you want to create an Ethereum validator so you can start staking your ETH, you do that, and it could take you up to 27 days for you to finally get to the threshold where you can start staking, with 50,000 prospective validators current in the queue. Ether owners can set up as network validators and earn a yield of about 4 to 5% annually via token staking. This is accurate, about 5%. ETH staking has been available on the Beacon chain since December of 2020, but staking withdrawals were only enabled at last month's upgrade. The addition of withdrawal flexibility to Ethereum staking reduces its risks in the eyes of many investors who may have been deterred from staking their Ethereum tokens prior to the implementation of withdrawals for fear that their funds would be locked up for a prohibitively long period of time. The surge in the number of validators queuing up to join the network comes hand in hand with the surge in number of ETH tokens being entered into staking smart contracts. As of Monday, the number of staked ETH tokens hit 21 million, up around 3.5 million in 1 month since the Shanghai upgrade, as per Glassnode.
Jeez, that's crazy. 21.6 million, up around 3.5 million in 1 month since the upgrade.
Data. And
Damn.
Speaking of Ethereum staking, this is curious.
Now, again, at Coinbase, they should be hearing from the SEC. If I had to guess, it would be today, because they had a 10-day notice for the SEC to answer them on what the actual rules are. And it was published, what was it, May 4th? And I would assume 10 days would be around the 18th, because it would be business days, right? So they wouldn't count the weekends. That would be my guess anyways. So I'm assuming we're going to hear something later today at some point.
Coinbase pauses Ethereum staking reward withdrawals for up to 3 days. So just the reward withdrawals has been paused. The popular exchange says the problem is unrelated to recent regulatory saber rattling over staking. Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange in the US, temporarily paused payouts of ETH staking rewards on Tuesday, citing a minor technical issue, while the exchange promised that user rewards are still being earned and will be paid out. The company says the issue might take up to 3 days to fully resolve. So perhaps this is resolved by the time you watch this video within the
He's saying Chad Wicks had a question. He said, "What is the color highlighting thing he uses on the articles?" I think it's called highlighter or something along those lines. I asked this before, and somebody in the live chat told me actually. I think it's called highlighter, and it's like a plugin, kind of like dark mode for your Chrome browser.
The next 3 days, it will get resolved. Perhaps it's because so many people are choosing to stake Ethereum. Perhaps because this is a new feature everybody's got to get used to. We'll see. A new Ethereum city has popped up with longevity at its heart. The Ethereum founder Vitalik's mini city concept brings longevity together with discussions on crypto, network states, and new cities. Overlooking a picturesque bay on Montenegro is the place in the world. The mysterious town of Zuzalu is billed as a first-of-its-kind pop-up city community, a month or two experiment that brings together a couple of hundred like-minded individuals with common interests in living longer and healthier lives and building self-sustaining communities. The brainchild of Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin. Many are saying that this town in Montenegro will become the El Salvador equivalent for Ethereum. What do you think?
The interesting thing is, I think that it sort of reminded me a bit of the energy there was a little bit like what I think the earliest days of Bitcoiners in El Salvador was. And I think the Montenegrin people are very big ETH believers. Like I got stuck in Podgorica, which was the capital, for a day. And there are like ETH ATMs everywhere throughout the capital. So it's actually interesting. It's kind of like the doppelganger. I wouldn't be surprised if Montenegro becomes like the doppelganger, the ETH El Salvador in like a couple of years.
Apparently Vitalik has a honorary Montenegrin passport, and there's sort of a movement with this new PM to develop Montenegro into more of a sort of digital nomad new destination, maybe a charter city location within Europe.
Cool.
Interesting. Which, okay, what is a day in a Montenegro pop-up city social experiment look like? Like, you wake up, what do you actually do?
Well, it's a little surreal too, because you're at this sort of private resort setup. So it's very not representative of what I assume the average day is like. There's no real town. It's like a little food desert kind of thing. But there's a schedule. So there's people giving talks through most of the day. There's a workshop. There's people doing exercise classes, people doing kind of breathwork stuff. There's a party tonight that I'm missing. But there's sort of stuff like that. And you can run your own workshop. You can contribute to the schedule. You can do a cooking class, whatever. So it's sort of summer camp-like in that way too.
That's sort of the Burning Man in the daytime.
Okay, that's a very good way to put it, actually.
But with real bathrooms, not porta potties.
That's it for me today, my friends. Subscribe.
Interesting. Shout out to Altcoin Daily. I honestly didn't get to pay attention to most of that because my daughter came down halfway through. But anyways, hopefully you guys caught any of that. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I am just looking to see if there's any other news, again, with the whole Ledger stuff, if there's anything new. I doubt it from CoinDesk. I think that would be it, if I had to guess. Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't think there's any other articles that I see. But again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I'm just more shocked they actually admitted that there has always been a firmware update that could leak your keys. That's I guess the biggest thing that really pisses me off, or kind of shocks me nonetheless. All right, let's so I have another one here. Crypto World. I want to see what they have to say. Ripple buys Swiss startup, and Justin Sun addresses the SEC charges against him. CNBC Crypto World. This is a crypto show basically that they do every day. Actually, I believe they have some sort of news out. So let's watch this. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask, and go from there. All right, let's do it.
Today, XRP rises as Ripple announces a new acquisition in Europe, and Justin Sun addresses the recent SEC charges against him and his companies.
That's the guy from Tron, right? Is that what it said?
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Mackenzie Sigalos in front of the Miami Beach Convention Center, where the three-day conference, Bitcoin 2023, kicks off tomorrow. This morning, though, crypto prices are mixed as investors are paying attention to debt ceiling talks. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin dropped below the $27,000 level. Ether fell just below $1,800. However, Ripple's native token, XRP, soared by nearly 5% in the past 24 hours. The move higher comes as Ripple announced today that it had acquired Medico, a Swiss crypto custody services firm. amid an increased SEC crackdown on crypto companies. The deal is expected to bolster the blockchain firm's product suite and help the company increase its presence overseas at a time when it's fighting a lawsuit from the SEC. All right, let's get right to our main story. Justin Sun is one of the richest and most controversial people in crypto. The crypto entrepreneur was even sued by the SEC in March on securities and market manipulation charges. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with the Tron founder in his first interview on camera in the U.S., where he addressed those claims. Sun, who's an advisor to the crypto exchange Huobi, also explained why it was important for his companies to have a presence at Bitcoin Miami.
This is going to be interesting. I haven't really heard too much news from about Ripple, so that was kind of neat that they're still doing things that missed the whole SEC lawsuit thing they got going on. But this is kind of interesting too. Magic Lucky in the chat said it can take years to build trust in your brand, but it only takes days to destroy it. And then he quoted Ledger. that's or in parentheses Ledger. That's very, very true, sir. All right, if anybody's just joining, we can recap the Ledger stuff after this, but let's watch this and then we'll get into that.
Bitcoin Miami kicks off this week, and Tron will have a presence at the conference. Now, I was recently at another crypto conference, Consensus in Austin, and saw Tron had a booth there on the floor of the convention center. So I'm wondering, why is it so important for you to have a presence at these crypto conferences, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
Yes, definitely. Both Tron and Huobi has been the sponsor for Bitcoin events and Consensus for so many years. Because I know US is a very important community. Even today, the regulatory environment for crypto might be a little bit backwards. But definitely, I think the future is very promising. And we want to continue to engage with community members together to build a very strong Bitcoin and crypto ecosystem. So Huobi and Tron, we always love to be a part of it. So that's why we also sponsor Consensus for many years, I think 4 or 5 years already. And we want to continue to contribute in the growth of crypto community.
What do you mean exactly when you say the regulatory environment here in the US is a little backwards? Can you expand on that?
Sure, definitely. Recently, we have seen SEC has sent a wild notice to Coinbase, and also they have basically performed legal action against Bittrex, Kraken, Gemini. Basically, I think most of the crypto exchange in United States. But eventually, I think this will all be decided by judge. And I definitely believe the future is bright. We might have a little bit up and downs in the process, but eventually we will get there.
Speaking of the SEC, they actually came after you and your companies. In an interview from February that I had watched, you were flat out asked if there was wash trading of your tokens taking place, and you said, of course not. And then a little less than 2 months later, you were hit with charges from the SEC for just that, among other things. Specifically, the SEC charged you and your companies with fraudulently manipulating the secondary market for TRX, Tron's native token, through, quote, extensive wash trading. What's your response to that?
So first of all, our legal team will handle this procedure, and I believe eventually SEC is only the one who bring the complaints, right? Eventually, it will be decided by court, and currently, I think for our business itself, is not operate in United States in any way. So that's why I won't worry too much about that.
So the agency specifically claimed that from at least April 2018 through February 2019, you allegedly told your employees to engage in more than 600,000 wash trades of TRX between 2 crypto trading platform accounts you controlled, with between 4.5 and 7.4 million TRX wash traded daily.
Oh, shit.
The SEC said that the, quote, scheme required a significant supply of TRX, which you allegedly provided, and that you also allegedly sold TRX into the secondary market, generating proceeds of $31 million from what the SEC said were illegal, unregistered offers and sales of the token. I know you said that you don't really operate in the US, but the SEC, the US agency, is in fact charging you for these allegations. So what is your response to all of that?
Yes, sure, definitely. I think first of all, it's handling by our legal team. And also, of course, since we don't operate, in United States at all. So also, basically, the either like myself, like BitTorrent, or Tron Foundation, which we have dissolved like long time ago, it's all based outside of United States.
So his big, what he's saying is basically yes, but we're outside the United States, so you can't do shit.
So eventually, I think this gonna decided by court.
You did, in fact, issue a statement reacting to the charges on Twitter immediately after you were charged, writing that the SEC civil complaint is just the latest example of actions the agency has taken against well-known players in the blockchain and crypto space, and that you believe the complaint lacks merit. Does that statement still hold true? Is there anything you would like to add to that?
Yes, I definitely believe those complaints lacks merit. And I think we will let our legal team handle that. And I believe eventually we will sort it out.
For anybody just joining, I'll get back to the Coinbase stuff. We'll go over it again just before we get out of here.
I know you said you're going to let your legal team handle this, but what was your reaction when you and 3 of your companies were charged by the SEC with fraud and other securities violations? Were you surprised, or did you see this coming at all? Did they give you any notices, any warnings?
We didn't receive anything before this brings out. So, but I feel peace since we didn't do anything wrong. Right. So and also, like I said, we doesn't just operate in United States at all. So that's why I won't worry about it. And also, I think the same time we believe, crypto adoption in this journey, right? So always we might have some backwards, right? Goes ups and downs, but eventually I think the future is bright, and we will.
To be honest, I don't even want to listen to this anymore. Does anybody really give a shit? Could we just? Does anybody care about this? I don't know any Tron. I don't know about you guys. So we have 14% say yes, 86% say no. So far in the poll, we have 37 votes. Now, this listening to this guy talk, I'm not gonna lie, it gives me like SBF vibes. Just the way he's talking, sounds like he's skirting around the real questions. And he's just kind of using like the, well, we're not in the US thing. So like, yes, I know I was doing something wrong without saying I was doing something wrong. That makes sense. All right. We're not going to listen to this anymore. All right. Well, anyway, shout out to Crypto World. Thanks for that. But all right, let's get back to, I know some people might have just joined. If anybody's wondering what happened, let's look at it. So I was going to schedule the live stream, and this just came out when I was going to schedule it, like literally 2 minutes before I scheduled it. I looked at the date and I was like, wait a minute, that was this morning, and it was like literally just past 7:45 when I was going to schedule. And it said Ledger continues to defend recovery system, says it's always technically possible to extract users' keys. Technically speaking, it is and always has been possible to write firmware that facilitates key extraction. You have always trusted Ledger not to deploy such firmware, whether you knew it or not, Ledger said on Twitter. That was in quotations. That's insane. That really is crazy, to be honest. Now, obviously, I'm going to be getting out of here in just a second, but I know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse for everybody that's already here, but I do want to listen to this one more time for anybody that may be just joining. Let's listen to this. So he questions the CTO of Ledger, and more or less, I don't know, you guys can get his reaction. So let's do it, and then we're going to I'll continue to look up this, and I need to find actually a good hardware wallet. So if anybody has like any information, let me know. I want to look into the LEPAL. I was looking into it a little bit last night, but I guess the LEPAL's had some issues too that I didn't know about. So I don't know what to use now. Tangem it seems to be one of the wallets that a lot of people are going to, but I guess we'll have to see. Again, I do have a link to Tangem down in the description below. Use it if you want. Feel free not to. All right, let's watch this and see what happens, and then I'm going to be getting out of here. Daddy duty calls.
Now, on the topic of wallets and your Bitcoin, we naturally should discuss self-custody and cold storage through the use of hardware wallets. There are companies that manufacture signing devices to allow for easy self-custody, and one of those companies is here with us today. Joining us now to discuss is Ledger CTO Charles Guillemet. Welcome, Charles.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. So your company is facing a little bit of scrutiny online over an opt-in service you just launched called Ledger Recover. Could you go ahead and let our viewers know what that is, what you have now implemented?
Yeah, sure. First of all, we plan to launch the service next Monday, and we had the proper communication plan. And one of our users noticed on the release note of our software that we are introducing this new feature. So that's why we decided to communicate today. So basically, what we see today, there are several burdens and several hurdles for newcomers in the space, and one of them is the idea of securing your 24 words, creating a backup for your 24 words. So that's why from this idea we decided to create a service in order to ease the way you can store and backup your recovery seed, and this is the full idea of the Ledger Recover. The idea is when you onboard with your device, you will create an account with different identity verification provider, and on your device you will consent to create this backup. This backup is split on different shards, encrypted with secure channel protocol in order to avoid man-in-the-middle attack and so on, this kind of thing. And your splitted seed will be sent and backed up by 3 different backup providers, so that in the day you want to recover your 24 words, your seed, you can use this service in order to get the access back to your wallets. So this is the overall idea.
So in the chat, real quick, Carl Code said this is not a feature, it's a security flaw, and I totally agree. But now that they came out and said that this has always been a thing they could do, more or less unlock your seeds with a firmware update, that's super concerning. I mean, at least to me.
Understood. So Charles, I have to ask, having your seed leave your device unless you opt into Ledger Recover, it feels like even though it's broken into 3 parts and then encrypted and then sent off, how is that not effectively the same as the seed leaving your hardware wallet? Is that not a compromise of security in some way?
No, it's not. And again, we are giving the option to our users. If you're not comfortable with using third party, if you want to be fully in control, if you want to be completely self-sovereign, you simply can not use this service. And if you like the idea of ease of use and having a separate backup just in case, you can use this service. And using this service is quite easy. And as I mentioned, the seed is splitted in 3 shards.
I don't give a shit how many shards it's split it in. You're right. It's still leaving your device, and that's the problem. It's saying there's no backdoor. In my opinion, if say like, all right, again, for example, and I listened to this without breaking into it at the beginning of the video, so if you don't want to listen to me, go back. But this brings to light, like, all right, so say somebody leaves their Ledger plugged in all the time, like Yeti had a buddy that would leave it plugged in 24/7 to his computer, even though you still had to type in the passcode and it was 0000. Not too hard to break into, but that's what Yeti said. He like, literally, my buddy had his just plugged in, and it kind of defeats the purpose of a wallet like this. But some people are uneducated and they want to charge it. They plug it into their computer and they leave it there to charge. Now, doing that, you're telling me that a hacker can't get into that wallet? Like an advanced hacker that could get into NVIDIA to break the LHR unlock, that could get into Samsung to take, secure files. Like, you're telling me these people can't get into your ledger that's like legit plugged into a USB-C on your computer? I don't understand. Like, where is the confusion here? That is the definition of a goddamn backdoor. Is it not? Damn, it's like, just tell us to bend over and take it, I guess, right?
Having one of the shard doesn't give any information about your seed, so this is something important to say. And they are encrypted, so the encryption prevents any attacker to do anything. Having something encrypted is like having nothing if you don't know the key.
Understood. But so this is opt-in software. Can you guarantee that you guys will continue to have it be opt-in software, or will it someday not become opt-in software? Because I think that is a critique and or a worry for some of your customers.
Now, I want to listen to this again, because I don't know if he actually said, yes, this will always be an opt-in feature. That's another, again, main concern. What if it takes one bad apple in a company to change the coding to make an update, steal your seed phrase without you like consenting to this, right? That's all it takes. One person to do that and sell it to somebody, and he becomes rich and we're all effed. That's the concern here. You can't tell me you trust everybody in these 3 companies and yours. Like, that's 4 companies, all right? Partners are for dancing. That's why, like, you can't keep a secret between 3 friends. It's like the only way you're doing that is if 2 of them are dead. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. It's physically impossible. Like, it's just human nature. Things are going to happen. It drives me wild.
Yeah, totally. We had plenty of questions and people were wondering.
I want to see if he says yes. This is always only going to be an opt-in feature.
This kind of question, and yes, we can guarantee that the guarantee that we give to our user is as soon as the operating system of our devices touch a cryptographic material, like a key, it will ask you for consent. It's the case when you sign a Bitcoin transaction. The operating system will ask you for consent. It's the case when you do smart contract.
I want to know what that consent is, though. Does it say you're going to shard your seed phrase? Or does it say, do you consent to these terms and conditions? And, most people will just click OK and not actually dive into the terms and conditions and read it.
Interaction, it's the case when you do staking on Cosmos. It's the same when you do like a firmware upgrade or when you load an app. And it's the same when you want to use this ledger recover service. You are prompted and you have to consent for this operation. I think this is what self-custody is about. This is what freedom is about. It's giving the possibility and the option. And at the end, the user decides.
I thought freedom was not your keys, not your crypto. Like, if you don't have your keys, like, you're effed. If you have your keys, you're as free as it can be. You're your own bank. Am I wrong? Is this like, am I missing something? I don't know.
Yeah. Charles, I want to latch on to another thing you said. I know there's a lot of criticisms coming at you, and I'm going to keep these questions coming. What about the linking of identification documents like a passport to your ledger? To me, that feels like it cuts against the ethos of crypto. How did you come to the decision to allow users to attach identity directly to a cold storage setup? Are you not worried about potential social engineering attacks for users of Ledger Recover?
It's a good question, but at the end, there is no direct link between your seed and your identity, because as a backup provider, you don't know what the actual seed is because you would need to recombine it inside the device to know it. So the only link we have is an account and a name, your name, and only you can recover your seed within a device. So as an identity verification provider, it doesn't know your expub, your addresses. It doesn't know your history on chain. It doesn't know your seed, and this is this separation of concern. The only thing it knows is that you own the ledger and you own crypto, and this is something I agree. But there was this separation.
I don't even know. Anyways, Old Man Crypto in the chat said his version of freedom is freedom from responsibility, and that is a true statement.
Right. And there is some concern from customers that you guys have leaked addresses before, so you can understand your customers' concerns there. But thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck going forward, Charles.
Again, when it comes to the fact of having to KYC. I mean, we're one step away from literally, the government being like, okay, we need all of this information. And then everybody's ledgers are tied to their IDs and all that stuff. I mean, it at the end of the day, like, I mean, we should all pay our taxes. I pay all my taxes. You should do that regardless. So like, we shouldn't have anything to hide from, but still it's the point, right? It's the point that you're no longer as anonymous as you wanted to be when you bought the ledger. You're no longer your own bank. There's a concern that somebody can get your keys off this device. Is one of those things. I never had that thought in my brain that, this thing could be reverse engineered or, updated to take my seed phrase out. I just never thought that way, ever. And now it makes me think that about all of my wallets. Like, what am I doing? Like, what's the point of holding a ledger? Why wouldn't I just use an app on my phone if it's that friggin' easy? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't have anything specific against Ledger. I never did until like these statements came out. It just makes no sense to me. And I feel like I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if it feels the same to you guys. Like, I feel kind of betrayed, right? To a sense. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I guess what you don't know won't hurt you. But now that we know, it sucks. Let's put it that way. Let's see. All right. It's the same as a bank. You trust them. Yeah, no, I mean, realistically, it's like now we're more or less, we're not holding, I mean, we are holding our own crypto, so I don't want to say that, but just the ability to be able to take your seed phrase, like, I don't want anybody to have that. You know what I mean? I don't even tell my wife that. Like, it's just how it is. Like, you want to keep your own stuff, put it in a safe place where she could find it if she ever needed it. But at the end of the day, like, that's mine. I'm not telling anybody. It's like a combination to your safe. Why would you do that? Makes no sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just kind of crazy, but let's see. If you guys have any last questions before I get out of here, please feel free to ask. But yeah, I will leave, again, a link to that entire thing is down in the description, but I will put it in the live chat. If you guys are interested, go check out CoinDesk. That is the interview that he had with that guy. And I'm also trying to get this guy to come on stream. If we can get a live stream with him, that would be amazing. Let me see if I can share this. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how to use Twitter. How do I go to my profile? Like this. Let's see. You guys see that? You like that? How's that? Use protection, people. I actually tweeted. Where is it? Did they answer? I want to see if they did. Yes, please show more replies. No. So they didn't. I don't think. Don't opt in. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't. Definitely don't opt in. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. Drives me nuts. So I might reach out to them again or try to message them again and see if I can get a response, because I'd love to have him on just to talk. Because like, I really don't think they understand the severity of like the people here, like us as, miners or as, influencers that promote this ledger. Like, that's what we use as Ledger. It's always been Ledger. I mean, at least or Trezor, like just these big wallets. And now like all this shit's coming out, and now I don't trust anything that plugs into my computer. I'm just gonna be real. I don't. Joker Miner said, damn, we at 34.9 subs. Yeah, dude, we're getting close to 35k. I appreciate all of you guys that sub. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Mr. Jonesy said, we need to create a Misfit mining coin and community built cold wallets spearheaded by Yeti. Bro, you know how much work that would be. Oh my God. Crazy. Yeti, feel free to do whatever you want, buddy. My wife doesn't have the combo to the safe. Exactly. And that's how it is, man. Like, I'm not going to give it a ledger if I ain't giving it to my own damn wife. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Stupid. Not saying I don't trust my wife, but you guys get what I'm saying. What stops the 3 entities to be bought by someone? Oh, by some mega corporation. And is a pirate. There you go. There you go. Another concern, right? Only when you pass away, though. Let me see. Not sure what you're saying. Game with Smokey Dan. Appreciate you for being here. But yeah, so like the ID thing, again, somebody hacks your life, takes your ID, takes your passport, wants to get your ledger stuff, right? Like they only require an ID or a passport. That's crazy. And I just found out the wife has the combination of my safe. God damn it. No, let's just not open it. Anyways, so the the fact of the matter here is like, it's crazy that you could just steal someone's ID and ask for the seed phrase. Like, if they give it up to a hacker that does that, who in their right mind would, you know, like, who are you blaming? Who are you blaming if they give up the seed phrase? If, you know, they give you the required documents, are you going to blame Ledger? Or are you going to blame these three parties? I mean, the three parties are they're just doing what, you know, what they're told to do. Like, this is the requirement. This is what we need. And that's it. I guess, Yeti, do you think, just before we get out of here, do you think that the ledger itself would need to be plugged in for them to open it up for you? Like, how the hell would that work? I wonder. I'd love to ask the guy that question. AC Mining says, whining to me. What's whining to you, sir? It's whining until your funds are gone. This is what Joker Miner says. And that's, I mean, dude, that's true. I don't even care if I'm beating a dead horse. It's one of those things, right? Anything and everything could happen. You can't go through life paranoid. Let's put it this way. So, yeah, not saying you in general, just people that aren't as concerned clearly don't have enough in their ledger to care about that much, right? When you have a significant amount that like is just kind of your long-term holdings, and now you realize that this safe can be unlocked by somebody else that's not you, that's the scary part. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Again, like I said, I want everybody to be careful. I don't give a shit about sponsorships. I will always speak the truth, how I feel about whatever we're going through. I'll go through with you guys. It's one of those things. You just need to talk about it. I don't care how uncomfortable it is, how much it seems like I'm bitching or whining. It's not that. It's that we need everybody to understand what's going on, and anything can happen. So personally, what I'm doing, just so you guys know, I'm not going to move all of my stuff off my ledger right now. I want to give it a few days and see what's happening, because apparently nothing's affected until it's plugged in. So I'm not updating. I'm not plugging it in. It's staying where it is. I ain't touching it. You know what I mean? So just, I wouldn't freak out. It's not like a huge freak out moment, just because all of these other wallets now that I think about can probably have the same security update, which would then force that seed phrase to be, you know, sharded or taken out. So just, yeah, again, just keep it unplugged. Don't do anything with it. You should be okay, because I don't know. Kyle Rosa. Oh, hysterical. Yeti said, you know how much crypto I've got? You think I'm happy with someone having that level of access? Hell no. Yeah, it's scary, bro. It's scary. It really is. It always needs to be able to unlock anything. Software can be hacked. Yeah, no, I agree. But I guess, so like, as a person like me, right, that's not really technically advanced with software or like engineering inside of like computers, development, all that stuff, being like a blue collar worker, I'm a plumber, right, by trade. That's what I did my entire life. So being somebody like that, buying something that is a ledger that is supposed to be a cold wallet, secure, you know, it creates the seed phrase when you open it up. Nobody else has that. To have that level of fear pushed into you by a stupid post or a small update that's even opt-in, just opened my eyes to like the entire, like I guess what the hell's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. I can't even think of the word. Vulnerability. The entire vulnerability of this entire thing in every wallet that's out there now. Which one's the most safe? It's kind of hard to tell. Tangem, to be honest, like, I like Tangem. This card, I don't know if you guys, I actually, once I set it up, I was like, damn, this thing is pretty sick. This Tangem multi-currency wallet thing, right? Again, not trying to shill this thing, but it's pretty cool, because the fact that you have to tap it to your phone and it unlocks with the you know, with the card itself, and then you got to type in your pin code, whatever. The only thing that sucks is it doesn't have a seed phrase, but if it needs the card to be plugged in, then you can't recover this wallet. Does that make sense? You need one of the three cards. You can't just buy another card and, or whatever, upload this wallet onto that card. You can add another card to this app, right, or your wallet if you'd like, but you like to have 4 cards or whatever, but you can't just like take the seed phrase and go input it into a new card and use the wallet. So that's like kind of a good thing about it, I would think anyways, because if somebody gets your seed phrase in your ledger, all they need to do is take that seed phrase, put it into a new ledger, and then guess what? They can open it up and send the stuff. That's kind of like, now I'm trying to figure out which one's the best. You know what I mean? I would never do a NFC card. Why not, Retro Mike? If you would do a Nano X, why wouldn't you do an NFC card? It is literally just about the same thing. But the ledger, in my opinion, is more of a security risk because it has to be plugged in. I'm wondering what you think about that. I'm leaning towards Tangem. I mean, that's, again, I don't want to see anybody put all their stuff into anything I say. It's just my opinion. That's just what I was thinking the past, like, you know, couple of days. NFC man in the middle attack. So yeah, I guess I would have to know more about it. What I would like to do, Yeti, if we could, probably at some point, you and myself, maybe just kind of go through a bunch of wallets, go through pros and cons of all of them, and kind of see what's the best. Like, what is the best for you? And we could just, again, pros, cons, lay it all out, write it all down, and I could show you guys in a video, and then you can decide from there which you want to use. That's pretty much what I want to do. That's I don't see any other way to, you know what I mean? That's the only way I'm gonna learn, is by like kind of diving into them all and see how secure they actually are. But I mean, there's only so much we can do. I've been looking at Tangem long before this happened. Interesting. See, I don't know. I like the NFC card. I don't mind it at all, because I need you physically have to touch the card to your phone to make it work. So I don't know, like, maybe there's a way to bypass that. I don't know. If there is, I guess I'm uneducated enough to understand it. What does Yeti use? He used the ledger. I think, right? Yeti, is that what you used? But he just purchased something else. There's another one now. I don't know what the hell it's called. I forget. But it was like this massive ATM thing. I was using ledger. Yeah. Everybody used ledger, man. I thought it was the most secure one out there. And then it turned into friggin', you know, whatever. Now ordered the Grid Plus. That's what it's called. Grid Plus. I don't know. Yeah, but I think this is only good for Bitcoin. Am I wrong? This right here looks like a damn ATM machine. $400. Grid Plus, but it's like you take this card. So isn't this an NFC? No. What is this considered? This is just like a chip. How does that work? What's different about that than the NFC? I guess. I guess that would be one of my questions for Yeti. So this thing, right? This thing, you can use it at anybody's house. If you have your own card, you can just kind of, but that would kind of make me nervous, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be bringing my card anywhere and using it on somebody else's device. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Chip and pin style, like a bank card. Well, I mean, this is the Tangem, right? Is like a you know, you touch to your phone and you still got to type in your pin. So I don't know. Maybe we can go over the security risks of that. That'd be kind of cool. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for joining today. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys missed the ledger stuff, go back to the beginning of the video, watch that. I didn't talk through it, so you guys can listen to the whole thing, tried and true. And then we kind of ripped it apart after that. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel. And until next time, guys, have a good day. I'll see you around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out.